Hey everybody, welcome to Monarch Academy. Today we're going to talk about your evidence collector. Let me show you where your resource is. It's very important that you pull this up on day one of your novel study. I'm going to share my screen. All right, on your classwork page, you can see that you have the evidence collector here. You'll have the video posted here too as soon as we finish this one. But first, I want you to pull up this Google Doc first. What is an evidence collector? An evidence collector is a place where you can store all of your citations as you move through your novel study. It is important that you have this, keep it up when you're reading your novel and you find strong evidence that really matters, that stands out to you, that you feel that this could be important for you for your writing, your speaking, your class discussions. Go ahead and document it there. You can add your page number. You can do direct quotes. We're going to talk about the types of evidence next, but you can see that in your chart, this is where you would record your strong evidence. Now, when you cite textual evidence, it can range from weak evidence to strong evidence. So I want to bring your attention that you're always looking for the strongest pieces of a page, of a chapter, of a dialogue, of an event. So make sure that you're weighing out in your mind, is this the strongest piece of evidence and does it truly matter? So when you put it here, putting it into your own words is very important because if you take your direct quote and you just let it be, later when you're having to come back and look at your evidence collector, you may go, gosh, I've got to go back and I got to read around that context. I've got to remember what that was all about. Well, you could paraphrase right here. And the power of the paraphrase is very important because it shows that you have an understanding of what that actual textual evidence is saying. So you paraphrase. Then while you're in that moment, think about how does it impact the plot, the character development, the situation. And you can also show how it connects to something else, maybe a multiple perspective. Because remember, your evidence collector is going to stay with you as you pull up your text sets. So for example, if you're listening to a Spotify of one of our Monarch authors, and there is a song that our author has chosen for their Spotify list, and you've listened to it, and there's a particular line that really resonates with you, and it matches up to a theme, to a character motivation, or a character trait, you go, I want that line. You can come in, you can add that line. What does it mean? How does it impact? How does it connect? This is where you could talk about how this Spotify music connected to the text. Pretty much here, you could just list the source. More importantly, your number one question is, why does it matter? Why did that piece of evidence stand out to you to get it to the evidence collector? And the reason why I called it the evidence collector is because you are curating the strongest evidence for your evidence museum. So you are a collector of antiquities. You are a collector of words. You are an archaeologist digging to find the words that matter. I could continue with this, but I'm going to stop now and just tell you, why does it matter? And once you hit this one's really the most important of everything else on the chart other than your strong evidence. So with that being said, do you fill out all 4 across the line? Maybe sometimes you're just looking for strong evidence and why does it matter? It's according to your time, to the purpose, and the task at hand. But this evidence collector keeps it all. And when you finish and you go back and you look at your performance task and you look at your assessments and you look at your activities that you're doing, you can come back to this strong evidence collection pieces and then go, wow, it's all right here. And yes, you still have access to your Monarch book and your informational materials if you would like to go back in and look for more and dig for more to add to your collector sheet. But if you keep this as you go, you are going to be thanking yourself when it's time to speak and write and read additional text and put it all together. All right, so that's the evidence collector. Now I want to show you one more thing before we move on. Come to the 4 types of evidence, because I want to bring your attention to 4 different types of evidence that you may find while you're reading a Monarch book and informational text. Of course, you know that you can take direct quotes. So this is a place where you can brainstorm and you can map out the different types of evidence that you're finding. Maybe you want to use this when you're looking at a nonfiction piece, or maybe you want to do this for one of the novels. You can see when you see numbers and statistics, that's more than likely going to be what type of connecting pieces of evidence would you be able to put here that can help make your claim strong when you're showing your bridge work, your work from your anchor text, which is our Monarch novel, to an outside text or media. So we know about our paraphrased quote. Maybe there's a place here where you don't want to exactly quote it with quotation marks, but you want to just paraphrase and get to the gist of what the author was saying. This is where you can list those. Now, an anecdotal, these are like storytelling. These are like pieces of like the novel, or even in nonfiction, anecdotal notes are very popular because it engages and hooks a reader. So if you see any type of storytelling element that you really like that stands out to you, definitely you can put it right here in anecdotal. So these are kind of 4 types of evidence that you can work with as you're moving through your novel study of your favorite Monarch book. All right, I hope that you love the evidence collector and understand that it is an important piece of the puzzle for all of your work. All right, have a great one, guys.